Welcome to Doctor's World. In this video, we will cover beta blockers. So, let's begin. First, we will classify the adrenoceptor antagonists, which are alpha blockers and beta blockers. The alpha blockers are alpha 1 selective, for example, prazosin, trazodone, doxazosine, and alpha 2 selective euhembine, and also alpha non-selective, which are irreversible. Phenoxybenzamine is an example, and reversible phentolamine is example. While the beta blockers, which we will discuss in this video, are classified into beta non-selective propranolol, the parent drug, beta 1 selective atenolol, bisoprolol, and metoprolol, esmolol, etc. While beta 2 selective, that is of no use but is used for research purposes, it is butoxamine. So this is the classification of adrenoceptor antagonists. Now we will mainly focus on the beta blockers. 1. Receptor selectivity. Beta 1 receptor selectivity, that is, the drugs that block beta 1 receptors more than beta 2 receptors, is the property of which drugs? Asbutolol, atenolol, esmolol, metoprolol, and several other beta blockers like bisoprolol. What is the advantage of this property? It is of advantage when we treat the patients with asthma, because in asthmatic patients, when beta 2 receptors are blocked, then it leads to bronchoconstriction and it increases the asthmatic attack. So it is the advantage of beta 1 blockers that they do not increase the asthmatic attacks. Nadolol, propranolol, and timolol are typically non-selective beta blockers and are contraindicated in the patients of asthma. Labetalol and carvedilol have combined alpha and beta blocking actions. You should remember that labetalol and carvedilol have combined alpha and beta blocking actions, and these drugs are optically active and different isomers have alpha R blocking action. Nebivolol has a vasodilating action also, because it increases the production of nitric oxide. Furthermore, it also blocks beta 1 receptors. Partial agonist activity. What is partial agonist activity? Partial agonist activity means these drugs also have some intrinsic sympathomimetic activity. What is the advantage of this intrinsic sympathomimetic activity? That these are used in treating patients with asthma, because these drugs, for example, pindolol, asbutolol, etc., are less likely to cause bronchospasm. In contrast to full antagonists such as propranolol, that are more likely to cause severe bronchospasm in patients with airway disease, these drugs cause less bronchospasm. Third one is local anesthetic activity. It means membrane stabilizing activity. It is the disadvantage when beta blockers are used topically in the eye, because it decreases protective reflexes and increases the risk of corneal ulceration. So you should remember this point, that when beta blockers are used topically in the eye, then they decrease the protective reflexes, and therefore when protective reflexes are decreased, then the risk of corneal ulceration are increased. Local anesthetic effects are absent from timolol and severe other beta blockers that are useful in glaucoma. Timolol is used to treat Glaucoma because it decreases the production of aqueous humor. It decreases the production of aqueous humor. Now, what are the uses of beta blockers? Beta blockers have several uses. We can say HM, HAT, CM, CD, page. H for hypertension, M for myocardial infarction, then H for hypertrophy, obstructive cardiomyopathy, then A for angina pectoris, then T for thyrotoxicosis, then C for congestive heart failure, M for migraine, C for cardiac arrhythmias, D for dissecting aortic aneurysm, P for pheochromocytoma, A for anxiety, G for glaucoma, and E for essential tumors. For glaucoma, I have told you timolol is used. So these are the uses of beta blockers. Now, what is the adverse effect of beta blockers? The adverse effects of beta blockers are 1. Bronchospasm due to the beta 2 blockade, and it is fatal in asthmatics. So these are contraindicated in the asthmatics, especially non-selective beta blockers. Then atrioventricular block, heart failure, CNS sedation, lethargy, and sleep disturbances are also the adverse effects of beta blockers. One thing I have also told you that if we use the beta blockers topically, then they also lead to corneal ulceration. CNS sedation, lethargy, and sleep disturbances, these are seen mainly with the propranolol because it can cross the blood-brain barrier. So this is all about beta blockers. Thank you for watching.